The air in the arena didn't just turn cold tonight, it turned electric. You could feel the molecular structure of the WWE landscape shifting in real time. We have seen betrayals, we have seen wars, and we have seen families torn apart, but what we just witnessed on Friday Night SmackDown is a moment that will be etched into the history books of this industry forever. The beast has been tamed, the loyalist has defected, and the Samoan Werewolf has finally found his true master. Welcome back to Wrestling Apocalypse, and hold on to your seats, because we are breaking down the most shocking turn of events in the history of the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu has officially acknowledged the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. To understand why the world is currently melting down on social media, you have to understand the sheer terror that Jacob Fatu has represented since he stepped foot in the WWE. For months, he has been the ultimate weapon for Solo Sikoa's new bloodline. He wasn't just a muscle, he was a force of nature. We've seen him dismantle Cody Rhodes, we've seen him put Kevin Owens through the announce table, and most importantly, we've seen him look Roman Reigns in the eye with a level of savage disrespect that no one else dared to show. He was the one man Roman couldn't break. He was the one variable that kept Solo Sikoa on the throne. But tonight, the variables changed, and the wolf decided to join a different pack. The scene started with Solo Sikoa standing in the center of the ring, flanked by Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. The atmosphere was heavy. Solo was demanding acknowledgment from the crowd, his face twisted in that familiar sneer of unearned authority. He was boasting about how Roman Reigns was a relic of the past, a chief without a tribe. And then, the music hit. Not the operatic, grand entrance of the tribal chief, but the sudden, deafening silence of the crowd as Roman Reigns walked out through the curtain, alone. No Paul Heyman. No Us. Just Roman. The dialogue was sparse but lethal. Roman didn't even use a microphone at first. He just walked to the bottom of the ramp and stared at Jacob Fatu. Solo started barking orders, screaming at Jacob to finish him, to destroy the fraud. Jacob stepped over the top rope, his eyes wild, his muscles tense like a coiled spring. We've seen this movie before. Usually, this ends with a pop-up Samoan drop and a decimated Roman Reigns. But as Jacob closed the distance, Roman did something he has never done. He didn't raise his fists. He didn't look for a spear. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the original Ula Fala, the one Solo thought he had destroyed weeks ago. The look on Jacob Fatu's face was cinematic. It wasn't fear, it was recognition. You could see the internal struggle playing out on his features, the conflict between the loyalty he pledged to Solo and the ancestral reverence he holds for the true head of the table. Solo was still screaming, his voice cracking with desperation, "Jacob, kill him. That's an order." But Jacob wasn't listening to Solo anymore. He was looking at the beads. He was looking at the man who carried the weight of the family for 4 years. Then came the moment that shattered the internet. Jacob Fatu, the most dangerous man in professional wrestling, slowly lowered his head. He didn't just stop his attack. He dropped to one knee. He reached out, touched the hem of Roman's vest, and in a voice that rumbled through the front row, he said the words, "I acknowledge you, my chief." The explosion from the crowd was physical. People were jumping over seats. You had grown men with tears in their eyes and kids in OTC shirts screaming at the top of their lungs. The betrayal was so swift and so pure that Solo Sikoa looked like he had been struck by lightning. The new tribal chief realized in that heartbeat that his power wasn't his own, it was borrowed, and the lender just called in the debt. The chaos that followed was a masterclass in storytelling. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa tried to rush Roman, but they didn't even get close. Jacob Fatu erupted. He didn't just defend Roman, he tore through his former teammates like they were made of paper. A double clothesline that nearly turned the Tongans inside out, followed by a moonsault that shook the ring. And through it all, Roman Reigns just stood there, draped in shadows, looking like a king who had finally reclaimed his favorite dragon. Backstage insights are already coming in, and the word is that this wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. Sources say Jacob has been quietly observing Roman's resilience for weeks. While Solo was taking shortcuts and losing the respect of the locker room, Roman was taking beatings and standing back up. For a warrior like Jacob Fatu, respect isn't given to the man who shouts the loudest, it's given to the man who can't be broken. Tonight, the werewolf chose the alpha. Think about the implications for WrestleMania. The power dynamic of the bloodline has been completely inverted. Solo Sikoa is now a king without an army, while Roman Reigns has just gained the most lethal bodyguard in the history of the sport. The stakes have shifted from a family feud to a total purge. Roman isn't just coming for his title anymore, he's coming to erase Solo's existence from the family tree. The emotional beat of Roman placing the Ula Fala around his own neck while Jacob stood behind him, arms crossed, staring a hole through the camera, is an image that will define this entire era. It was a celebration of legacy over ego. It was the moment that OTC became more than just a nickname, it became a reality. We want to know your thoughts on this one, because this is the big one. Did you see this coming? Is Jacob Fatu's loyalty genuine, or is this the ultimate Trojan horse plan by Solo Sikoa? The comments section is going to be a war zone, and we want you right in the middle of it. Is Roman Reigns now unstoppable with the werewolf by his side? If you're still shaking from that segment like we are, do the right thing, smash that like button, share this video with every wrestling fan you know, and if you haven't joined the apocalypse yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are living through the most insane period in WWE history, and you don't want to miss a single second of the fallout. The tribal chief is back, the wolf has found his home, and the Bloodline civil war has just reached a point of no return. Thanks for watching, stay phenomenal, and we'll see you at the next one where we track Solo Sikoa's inevitable meltdown.